Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to another Monday Morning Art Talk. I'm Steven Silver, character designer and teacher, dedicated to helping you learn about the art industry and living up to your potential. Whippy! All right, welcome to another Monday Morning Art Talk. Today's Art Talk is about when do you know if it's the right time to take risk? We all have situations that may come up in our lives, circumstances, offers of change, offers of or a mindset of just wanting to try something completely different. These become risky possible situations only because you don't know what the end result's gonna be. And there's something in a way magical about that. By not knowing what the result's gonna be could offer you just a great surprise. It could just be a great outcome. It could be something that goes horribly wrong. But the difference is between the risk and possibly doing something that's going to be dangerous are very different. I've spoken about this in different art talks before. I want to share with you guys something that I took a risk just the other day. I wanted to try something new. Was it a big risk? No, but in my mind, I was like, I'm going to just try something because I want to change something. I want to try something because I want to change something. What did I want to change? What I wanted to change was I was just recently at the Adobe Max conference where I did a workshop for 3 days, 3 different classes, but there were so many other things going on there. And in between, I was able to go to any of the classes of my choice. And I decided I wanted to go to a class on social media, because I don't really get it. I don't understand how it works, all the insights and all these other aspects. I'm one of those artists that, in all honesty, is a fly-by-night experimentation artist, especially when it comes to social media. How do you know if you're putting too much stuff out there that's turning people off? How do you know if you're putting too little of something, too much of something? What's the right time? What's the wrong time? What's right? What's wrong? You don't know. What's the point of growing social media? The point of growing social media is just to bring awareness of what it is you do. We live in a time now where what matters to people, what matters to other brands is, are you around? Sometimes it's the common saying, out of sight, out of mind. If you're not out there enough, you might just miss the bus, so to speak. Is there too much excess? I personally believe people can post way too much. And then it starts to just kill the excitement of things. And I understand that even more now because of the risk that I just took. I wanted to try something as I went into this social media class. One of the main aspects was consistency. Now, I understand that. I believe that as you're building a brand, as you're doing something, when we look at certain brands, it could be a clothing line, it could be a movie company, it could be a musician. You'll see things on their YouTube or their Instagram or their Facebook. And when you look at the whole picture as a whole, it feels like a consistent brand. And maybe the colors are all similar. And this is what branding's about. Are we keeping the same sort of color scheme? For myself, something I do with my color scheme has just evolved to being like red, black, and white and gray and like a silver. And those are like the 4 colors that I tie everything in as best as I can, just so that it feels like you're looking at something similar with my name Silver, as opposed to something that's constantly changing all the time. It's changing. When we look at Coca-Cola, when we look at Nike, all you got to do is look at the big brands. That's always should be a marker, and sometimes it's a marker that I need to remind myself of. Just look at the big brands. Look at what other people are doing. And this is the most important thing you can do in order to gain knowledge, is just look at what other people are doing. What are they doing that's successful? What have you done that's successful? What are posts that you've done on your own website, on your own Instagram, on your own Facebook that are getting more views? The idea, again, of getting views and people observing what it is that you're doing is for them, because you want them to keep coming back. You want them to be aware. You don't want them to be turned off. You want them to be excited. You want them to find value. So as you're building a brand, this is what you're wanting, is just, do people find value in what it is that you're doing in your content? Do they understand your content? I remember watching a show, it was a series on models, where these young girls wanting to be models for fashion were being guided by a famous model, and they all came. And I remember just one of the shows where they talked about Instagram, and they said, wow, look at your Instagram. Look how consistent you are. I know who you are. I know your brand. I keep seeing the same thing. There's a visualization to it. Look at this other brand. Look at you. You're showing yourself modeling, but then you're showing yourself what you're eating for dinner, and then you're showing this other picture and this other picture, and it becomes not a consistent picture. And I was reminded of that again everything happens for a reason. I was reminded of that when I was at this Adobe Max, and why I brought up the Adobe Max, not only because I went there, but it's funny to me that people no longer ask you necessarily for a business card. This is evolving and changing. Now it's not so much, hey man, it was nice to meet you. Do you have a business card? It's all of a sudden, hey, it was nice to meet you. What's your Instagram? Like, dang, man, what the planet are we living on? But yes, this is evolution, and this is what you have to be a part of. So as I'm meeting new people, which was my goal when I went to this Adobe Max, I want to meet new people, new creators, new speakers. Meeting these people and seeing every time this interaction, hey, what's your Instagram? Oh my God, my Instagram. I got to give them my Instagram. My Instagram is StevenSilver7. That's my Instagram. And I realized for myself, and beyond what the message of the social, class that I took was, have that consistency, be consistent, build the brand, be consistent. That's what I realized. I'm showing people my Instagram, and I'm like, my Instagram is a mess. My Instagram is a disaster. I'm trying to do too many things on there. I mean, I have my brand and things I want to share. I'm doing certain talks. I need to let people know that I'm going to be doing that, and I offer this and I offer that. But then I'm showing a caricature, and I show a character design, and I'm showing a process video, and then I'm showing an art talk, and I'm showing all these different things. And in the big scheme of the picture of it, it looks like a complete disaster. So when people are looking at it and they're seeing my Instagram and I'm showing them, what's your Instagram? They don't truly get who I am or what it is that I do. And I realize that I'm like, I'm not really showing my best foot forward on there. I'm not showing a consistency. And I was just, wow, what a disaster. So where's my risk come into play? So the other day, I came back just yesterday, and this was for those of you guys, my Patreon followers, who are getting to watch this today and this weekend and get the early bird special, so to speak, and everyone else who is watching from Monday on, you're seeing this today. Other people seeing it in a few days here. What I did on my Instagram was I decided I'm just going to try to create a window of, when you first look at someone's Instagram, what's the first thing you do? All of a sudden you find this new person, you're going to see probably about the first 6 to 12 to 15 squares, right? You look at that as a big picture, and you scroll, and you can see right away what it is they're doing. And you can make that decision right there if I want to click on it to get a closer look and see if I'm excited about what they do, to determine whether or not I even want to follow them, or just to know what it is that they do. And that's the bottom line. What do you do? Who are you? So I decided, well, I have a lot of pictures in my sketchbooks of little heads that I've done caricatures in my style. I'm going to snap pictures of all that, but I'm going to do it all at one thing. So any new people that start to follow me today, because a lot of people got my Instagram handle from this last weekend, they're going to come onto my Instagram new for the first time. And I just want them to show them that when they first go on there, they're going to see a pattern where people already following me, what I wasn't necessarily thinking about, or maybe I wasn't thinking about the true outcome of it, that it could be perceived as a spam. Like I'm showing so much, all of a sudden I added all this content. I added like 30 images. So in the first window, anyone coming new to my Instagram is going to see a consistency. Anyone who's following me already is going to be like, okay, what's he doing? I thought they'd be excited about it, and some people were. But then I got people who said, what are you doing? You're like spamming me. And I lost a bunch of followers. That was a risk. I lost followers because and it's not the end of the world. I'll gain followers, and it doesn't matter. What I'm doing on my Instagram is not going like, I need to post, I need to get followers, I need to post. That's not why I do it. Many of you guys who do follow me on Instagram know that I don't post every day, know that I don't post twice a day. I post when I post. And it's something that I do. I post when I post. And if you choose to follow me and you want to follow me, great. Am I trying to gather bots and do all this crazy stuff and try to get up to all these amount of people? No, it's going to happen when it happens. I truly believe in that. It's like when you're putting stuff out there, if people wish to follow, they're going to follow. If they don't wish to follow, they're not going to follow. So by me taking that risk of, okay, I'm going to put all this out at one time, I just want to build up my window. I didn't know really what the result's going to be, but I learned a lesson there. Number one, don't post so many at one time. It was a risk I took, and I learned my lesson, because even those few people that did, and I'm glad you did, is make a comment like, this is way too much at one time, and we're missing out on a lot of your other drawings because I don't necessarily want to look at them because I've seen enough already. I got it. I heard that. And that's an important thing. And also number two, I did lose followers. Does it feel good to lose followers? No, because you question why am I losing followers? Oh, that's a bummer. Am I not giving people what it is that they want to see? And we all kind of want to make people happy. That's internal. We do. We want to please people, no matter what level you're at. And through that experience, I realized I learned my lesson. But all it was a risk. And it was a risk that I realized I learned a lesson, and it's not going to be the end of the world. And what I'm going to try to do now is plan a little bit more consistently when I'm arranging my Instagram. I'm going to just try to do it in patterns. So if I'm going to post maybe character design, maybe the next 5-6 drawings are going to be character design based on a specific thing. That will give a little window where you see the 3, the 6, the 9 posts are pretty consistent and not so scattered. But of course, I do need to share social things that I'm doing. I think it's a great way to reach people. If I'm going to offer a life drawing session, if I'm going to do my Artist Anonymous, if I'm doing a workshop, if I'm going to show up at a convention, I need to show those things too, but there's going to be a break in pattern. But what maybe I realize I need to do when I'm sharing those things is maybe still really tie it in with all the other images, so it feels like part of the images. So the content of what I'm trying to share with you guys is in a drawing itself. And these are the things I'm learning. These are the things that I'm taking risks on, that I'm trying. I'm seeing what happens and seeing what the result is. And this is why I encourage you to do the same thing whenever you can. Try to think about maybe mistakes that I've made that I can share with you, that maybe you're realizing that maybe I'm doing something wrong too, yourself, that you're doing something wrong. And because every time I'm trying to guide people in my mentorships that I do every Tuesday with people, my one-on-one mentorships, For their portfolios, I see a complete inconsistency. They're all over the place. It's all matched. It's this menu that's so confusing to look at. I don't know who you are. And I realize that's so important on a website. And I do that. I practice what I preach on my website, silvertunes.com. I do that. But on my Instagram, I didn't. I was all over the place. It was a big, confusing menu that I couldn't even show people who it is or what I do. I remember I was at dinner, having a dinner party through Schoolism, through the Lightbox Expo, and Ian McKay was sitting across from me. We were having a beautiful conversation, and he says to me, "What do you do? Let me see some of your work." And I wasn't necessarily wanting to show him my portfolio because I have these different categories. I wanted to show him my Instagram, but I realized I can't show him my Instagram. My Instagram's a mess. It's not consistent. He's not going to know who I am, what I really do. So I did end up showing him part of my portfolio, or this app that I created, which was called, I don't even remember the name of it now. It was like character design app or something like that, where I have all these character designs on it. And I showed him that, but it was really the inconsistency that was missing. So my lesson that I want to share with you is the importance of, don't be afraid just to take the risk like I did on my Instagram. I decided that day yesterday to take that chance, to do that, knowing there may be some problem with it. Some people are not gonna be happy. Some people are gonna be happy, but it was a risk. Was it dangerous? No, it's not dangerous. And these are the things that you have to remember in your life, that when you have opportunities that might arise, you might get a job offer to go move out of state, do something else. Just always remember, nothing you do is a life sentence unless you commit a murder and you get found guilty for it. Unfortunately, there's a lot of bastards in this world who have committed murders and get away with it and run free. But imagine you're spending life sentence in prison for the rest of your life. That's not going to happen with 99.99999% of stuff that you do is not going to be a life sentence. It's going to be a temporary possible setback. It's going to be something that maybe you realize, shouldn't have done that, bad choice. Let me change the situation. I'm going to try moving here now. Maybe you're deciding to quit a job and you're wondering, should I quit that job right now? You don't know. You got to go with your gut on a lot of these things. Just go with that intuition. And maybe it was the right choice, but realize that, well, that wasn't a life sentence. I messed up there, but I'm going to get another job. I'm going to try something new. I'm going to do something different. And constantly giving yourself those opportunities, as long as you know you're not putting yourself or family members or anyone else in a dangerous situation, which can potentially hurt you or other people. And that's it. So you try these things. And that's why I encourage risk. I encourage you guys do it. Whenever you can, don't be afraid. Just, there may be something that you regret, but it's not going to be the end of the world. There's always redemption. There's always trying new ways and new approaches. So give it a whirl. That's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Please share this whenever you can. I really appreciate it. Just to reach more people and affect more people and help more people, whichever way you can is a part of this. So thanks so much. Thank you to all my Patreon followers. Thank you guys who follow me through all my other channels and stick with me. Whenever I do post and whenever I share, I do try to stay consistent with my Monday morning art talks whenever I can. It's a consistent thing I gotta think about. And that's it. Make it a great week. Take some risk this week. Do something. Step out of your comfort zone. Do something you're not comfortable with. Don't put anyone in danger, but take that challenge. Thanks. To subscribe to my mailing list and stay updated on future workshops and events, please go to my contact at silvertunes.com and simply hit join mailing list. Until the next time, make it a great week and thank you for listening.